self-sacrifice and altruism is wrong.
The marvel of the market is that through the invisible hand, the efforts of the greedy and selfish are channeled to serve the interests of others.
Why not live the best, happiest, most flourishing, most successful, most engaging life that I could possibly live?
Compassion is a virtue. Self-actualization is a virtue. But selfishness is not a virtue.
And the answer is no.
So today we're going to be watching a debate for 30 minutes at least. I don't know how long this app will let me record a video. But yeah, hopefully it's 30 minutes. So we're just going to watch at least like a quarter of this video. A quarter. Not the whole video, but just 30 minutes into this debate. Just to see if the app let me record more than 30 minutes, then that'll make it at least an hour. So that's most of the video, an hour. The video is 1 hour and 20 minutes long, so I'm just going to record it for just 30 or 40 minutes. Alright, let's start this debate.
Welcome to the Cell Forum. We're a monthly debate series that features topics of special interest to libertarians and aims to enhance social...
This debate is going to be between Yaron versus Gene Epstein. Yaron versus Gene Epstein. I didn't make this camera. There. Yaron versus Gene Epstein. Talking about selfishness as an ethical virtue, ethical philosophy. You can see Gene Epstein talk about selfishness as a political thing, political, economical thing, but Yaron stays on topic. Well, Gene Epstein also talks about ethics, so he's still on topic as selfishness a virtue. Me, I'm on Yaron Brooks' side. I really think selfishness is a virtue. Selfishness, like when you love somebody, that's selfish. You experiencing the love. But if someone don't love you back after you love them, that's self-sacrifice. But that's still selfish because you're the only one who's experiencing the love. You still experiencing love by yourself, but the other one is not experiencing love for you, but you still experience love for them. But if they don't love you back, that's both self-sacrifice and selfish, and self-defeating, because you're loving the one that don't love you back. That's terrible. Don't do that. But selfish, you buy groceries for your family. That's selfish. Only your family's going to eat the food. You and your family's going to eat the food. That's selfish. And you buy food for you buy clothes for yourself. That's selfish. You donate to the poor, you donate to, Native Americans, whatever you want to do, whatever, like some organization that you support, you're being selfish because you agree with their beliefs and all. You agree with their agenda. You agree with what they're all about, the organizations that you support. That's selfish. That's not selfless because you are experiencing a selfish feeling. Selfish feeling. So yeah, selfishness is a virtue. And when you, if you feel happy, yay, that's selfish. That's selfish being happy. So yeah, that's a good thing. Being selfish, being greedy too, greedy. Not greedy in the way that Nazis or people that just want to do stuff for themselves, like completely for themselves, not buying food for your family. You have family, but you not give them food. That's mean. That's not selfish. That's greedy in the wrong way. But Rand would say greed, like buying groceries for your family, is greedy. Buying groceries for your family is greedy because only your family's gonna eat the food. Your family and no one else, you being greedy. And if you don't get some food for your friends, that's still being greedy because only you and your friends eating the food, no one else eating the food. You and your friends, you and the family. That's selfish. That's greedy. That's selfish. That's good. Greedy is good. Like if you want to get some food, that's greedy. If you want to rent an apartment, that's greedy. If you want to buy a bed, that's greedy. Greedy. And what else? Envy is good too. Envy. Like Like when you see someone buying something that's cool, like you see someone have some objects that you want to buy, some material stuff that you want to buy. Oh, you got that? You got that? I want to buy that. Then you buy it. That's envious, but not envious. What's the word? It's a selfish feeling. It's greed, and it's also envy. Yeah, envy is good. But and not envy like moderate, like selfish, like rational self-interest. Rational self-interest altogether is rational self-interest altogether. Envy, greed, selfishness, rational self-interest altogether. That's the philosophy of objectivism. Now let's continue watching this video.
And professional ties within New York City's libertarian community. This is an Oxford-style debate in which the audience initially votes for, against, or undecided on the resolution. Whoever moves the vote in his or her favor is declared the winner. Go into SohoVote.com to cast your initial vote. You'll find that tonight's resolution reads, selfishness is a virtue. We're partnered with Reason Magazine in presenting these debates, and you can catch audio of all our events on the Reason podcast, which you'll find in the iTunes store. Thanks to the Smith Family Foundation for making this series possible. For more information and to buy tickets to our future debates, go to our website at thesohoforum.org. I'm Gene Epstein, director of the Soho Forum. Arguing for the affirmative on the resolution, selfishness is a virtue. We have Yaron Brook, director of the Yaron and Institute. Yaron, please come to the stage. And since I will be arguing for the negative, I must recuse myself as moderator. For our guest moderator, we are honored to bring you Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, please come to the stage.
I feel like this is some kind of a conspiracy in the basement of an old theater. Everybody's Italian, Catholic, Jewish, or atheist. Very happy to be here. So Yaron has the burden of proving the case that selfishness is a virtue, and we'll start his time now. Oh, and once Yaron starts, the voting is closed until we are told it is open again, which it will open at the end of the debate.
Wow. Lights. All right. Good evening, everybody. I can't see you. I think you're there. Thank you, Gene, for inviting me and for choosing this particular topic for us to debate. I'm really looking forward to this. And thank you, Judge, for moderating tonight's event. And thank you all for being here tonight. Selfishness is a virtue. Now, that is a difficult proposition to make in the world in which we live. In a world in which selfishness is perceived to be a real vice, right? What do we associate with the word selfishness? We associate in popular culture with lying, stealing, cheating, backstabbing, being a real SOB, exploiting other people for one's own benefit. That is what the culture has come to identify with the term selfish, self-interest, egoist, all of those terms. When we point at somebody in the schoolyard and say, that kid's selfish, what we mean by that is he's a nasty, nasty person. He's going to do anything to anybody to get his way. There's a problem. Because at the same time as that is true, it's also true if you think a little objectively about the word selfish, which means taking care of self. And we see artists pursuing their passion and willing to give up everything to achieve their goal that they set for themselves. Well, that's pretty selfish. We see business leaders trying to make money by trading, by producing, by making. Think Steve Jobs. What a selfish guy. How many people in the audience were asked by Steve Jobs, what features you wanted in the iPhone. I can't see you, but I'm guessing the answer is 0. Steve Jobs built the iPhone the way he wanted it to be. He built the iPhone in his image to pursue a passion of his for the monetary benefit of himself. Steve Jobs was selfish. Every athlete out there, Michael Phelps, who worked tirelessly to become the greatest swimmer in history. For whom? For me? He cares that I enjoy watching swimming? No. For his parents? I hope not. He did it for himself. He was being selfish. So what's happened is that we have this term that has these mixed meanings inside of it. It has this idea of exploitation, of being mean, of being nasty, of being bad. And at the same time, it has all these positive things associated, pursuing your values, pursuing your passion, trading, making, building. We call this a package deal. When you take one concept and you put two things inside of them, two things that ultimately are kind of contradictory. Because when you actually look at life, and when you have time to look at history and look at the people around you and look at who is successful and who fails, is lying, cheating, stealing, and being an SOB a successful strategy in life? Does it actually lead, other than in politics, does it actually lead to success and prosperity and happiness and living a full human life, flourishing as a human being? And the answer is no. If you actually look at the world around us, Bernie Madoff lands up in jail. But more than that, Bernie Madoff is miserable before he's caught. Not because he feels some innate guilt because he's lied and cheated and steal, but because he has no self-esteem because he lied, cheated, and steal, because he can't look his kids in the eye, because he can't have a conversation because something might slip out and they will discover that he lied, stole, and cheated. Of course, it was the kids who told the feds about him. You know, God forbid the SEC actually catches anybody who commits fraud. They're too busy monitoring Don and my 13 Ds and 13 Gs, right? So, no, it doesn't pay off. It's not in your self-interest to be the SOB in the schoolyard. Those people don't turn out well. They live horrible, miserable, pathetic lives. And this is, by the way, true of politicians. I've never met a happy politician. All you have to do is look at Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton and see how miserable they are. They carry it on their faces. And I think this is true of most politicians. I've met a lot of politicians. I've never met a happy politician. They all look miserable because they've achieved what they've achieved primarily through lying, cheating, some of them through stealing. But right? Hey, have you ever wondered how these guys go into office poor and come out rich? I mean, it's just weird. $250,000 speaking fees at Goldman Sachs. So we've got a muddled concept. What does selfishness actually mean? If you look it up in the dictionary, it says, taking care of self, comma, any modern dictionary has the comma, at the expense of others. Now, what the hell at the expense of others? Where did that come from? The only people with an incentive to add that at the expense of others are the people who want you not to be selfish, who want you to sacrifice, who want you to think always in terms of the public good and the public interest and the common. And who are those? Well, the people who want to control you. The people who want to tell you how to live and what to do because they...
I have your penis, Yaron, broadcaster. I just felt like doing some funny shit on the video. You saw that dick that I drew on the video? Hopefully you can see that. That's funny. I'm sitting off for Yaron, but I'm just playing on this video. It's fun. It's fun. Okay, this is bad angle of the camera. There, that's better. I look fatter like that. I look fat. There we go. Yeah, this is a great. Well, this just started just a few minutes into it, but Yaron has some good arguments, but Gene, what's his name again? I was gonna say Gene. Yeah, Gene. Gene has some. I already saw this video, but I want to see it again to make the video on Facebook and YouTube just to have fun with it. I was trying to come up with the idea for a video, but this is the first thing that popped up in my head. Maybe make a video talking about a debate and recording a video on the debate. Yeah, I might do that. Bill Nye versus what's his name? Ken Hovind, not Ken Hovind. Yeah, Ken Hovind. Oh, Ken Ham. I'm not going to do that one. I might do this other one, this Pussyc Prophet versus this Muslim guy. Pussyc Prophet is atheist versus a Muslim. That was a pretty good debate. Yeah. And then there's this other debate. I forgot the other one. I forgot who was on the other debate. There's one debate that Pussyc Prophet has some good arguments. And then there's another debate with the same Muslim and with both I think an atheist, but also not scientist. I might do another video later today or tomorrow, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know. Yeah. Let's continue this video.
You know what's good for the public. They don't want you to live for yourself because they know that people who live for themselves want to be free. They want to be free of authority, free of coercion, free of force. So the only people who want you to live for the public interest, for the common good, are the people who are going to channel the public good and the common interest to you and tell you how to live and destroy your ability to be free. But more than that, we've been taught for 2,000 years that what is good is to sacrifice. What is good is to live for others. What is good is not your happiness, but... And altruism is an ism. It means otherism. And Augustine Comte, who came up with the term altruism, didn't mean being nice to people and opening doors. Even egoists open doors for people. I know that's a shock for you guys. No, Augustine Comte meant that altruism means living for the sake of others. Living for the sake of their happiness. Living for the sake of their well-being. And the standard of your morality is how much you've sacrificed for the sake of other people. In other words, how much you have suffered for the sake of other people. Bill Gates makes $70 billion by changing the world and making people better off. I'm not going to explain the trader principle to this audience. I think you understand it. That the only way to become super rich is to benefit other people through trade. But he gets zero moral credit for that. Negative moral credit because he did make $70 billion in the process. But he leaves Microsoft and starts a charity. Oh, now he's a good guy. Not quite a saint. Now, I don't have any inroads with the Catholic Church. I'll have to ask the judge about this. But I suspect that to become a saint, Bill Gates will have to do what? Yeah, he'd have to give it all away, move in, live in a tent, and maybe show us a little bit of blood. Because that's what conventional morality suggests. It suggests that virtue equals suffering. Have you ever seen a painting in a museum of a saint with a smile on their face? No. Because that's not the point. The whole point is to suffer. It's not how much you benefit other people. If it was based on how much you benefit other people, Bill Gates would already be a saint. It's how much you suffer. And the question has to be asked, why? Why is other people's happiness more important than mine? Why should I live for some common good? I don't know any common. Why should I live for the public interest? I don't know the public. Why shouldn't I live? I've got one shot at this. This is the atheist in me coming out, right? I've got one shot at this. I've got one world in which to live. Why not make the most of my life in this world? Why not live the best, happiest, most flourishing, most successful, most engaging life that I could possibly live? And what does such a life require? Now this, I think, is what morality should really be studying. Morality should be the science that studies what virtues and values people should pursue in order to achieve their maximum potential, in order to live the best life that they can live. Now that would be an amazing project, a project started by Aristotle, continued by Ayn Rand. That is a project worth engaging in. What are those actions that we take that really lead, scientifically, to good life? Because we're a biological entity. We have a particular nature. Some things hurt us. Some things are good for us. Just like some fruit is poison, other fruit is good for us. So certain actions that we take in our life, certain virtues that we engage in are good for us, and others are bad for us. We have a particular nature. So let's try to focus on what is good for us and do that. And it turns out, and again, you don't need to be a nuclear scientist to figure this out. It turns out that what's good for us is not exploiting other people. It's not lying, cheating, and stealing. It's using that one thing, that one resource that we have that makes us human. All our values come from one place. All our values come from one activity. All of our values, spiritual as well as material. And that is the human mind, a reasoning capability. To be selfish means to be rational. It means to use reason. It means to think about your own life and how you can maximize your own well-being, your own capacity to flourish over a lifetime, long term, rationally. That's what virtue of selfishness really means. It means to think, to engage with the world, with your mind, to figure out the actions necessary and the values we're pursuing that will lead to a good, flourishing, successful life. At the end of the day, your happiness is the purpose. What other reason are we here for? If not to live, to flourish, to be happy. And not the happiness that comes from a line of cocaine. The happiness that comes from living a good life, from producing, from creating, from building something, from making your life have meaning.
And what he was touching on a little bit there, he was touching on a little bit of hedonism. He was talking about like cocaine and all that. Like selfishness does mean or the ego is the rational self-interest. Rational self-interest is not what objectivism's version of rational self-interest of egoism, selfishness, is what benefits you in the long run, not just hedonism. Hedonism, opposite of objectivist selfishness, egoism. Hedonism is just what feels good at the moment. What feels good at the moment, instead of like might feel good to you, but to me, soda, and listen to music is good for me. Yeah, I feel good. Listen to music, rock and roll, and drinking soda, eating junk food. That's bad. It's bad for your health if you keep on doing the same thing over and over. Eating lots of junk food and sodas and stuff. I do drink water. Right now, I'm drinking water. Trying to watch my health, trying to lose some weight. But yeah. So hedonism, ethical hedonism is what feels good in the moment. If it's good, if it feels good, then it's good. But it's selfishness, objectivist egoism, selfishness. The type of egoism is, it goes like this: of selfishness. Oh damn! What the fuck? Battery's going on. Battery. Really? I have to make this video shorter. Okay, so I'm gonna end it 1 minute after I talk about this. Then I'm gonna do a 2-parter or 3-part video of this debate. Selfishness, egoism is what benefits you in the long run, and what will benefit others too. Buying groceries for others. It's good in the long run because you're buying groceries for a whole month or a whole week or 2 weeks, 2 weeks worth of groceries. That's good. And it feels good, but it's not as good as not like hedonism. Hedonism and egoism, the ethical, inner ethical, interest, inner emotional, gratification is different than the other one. The emotional gratification of selfishness, the emotional gratification of hedonism is different right there. Because long run, short run, what feels good in the moment, what will feel good and will benefit in the long run. So it's different. So yeah, I'm gonna finish the video for right now, then make the second part. Let's see how far I was in. Let's see, 14 minutes, 15 minutes at least. Okay, so yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from this video, and I'm gonna do this part 2 or part 3, maybe just a couple parts of this video. So this is already 15 minutes, almost 15 minutes. Well, this is 24 minutes, but on video it's just 14 minutes into the video, almost 15. So, still have a long way to go with this video. So, maybe the next video after I charge this phone, then make another part of this video. So, I'm just gonna record the the open statements first. Actually, I'm only going to do the open statements, and then the Q&A. I might just record 2 more videos. The open statement and the Q&A, not the rebuttal. I was going to do the open statements, and then you guys decide for yourself who won the debate. I think it's even, but I don't want to ruin the whole debate. But they have good points in the debate. But I'll let you know. Very good. I might put the link on Facebook and YouTube. And okay, so I'm gonna end the video right now before the battery runs out. Okay, peace the fuck out. Peace the fuck out. Peace the fuck out.